YouTube. If you're watching this video, then you probably know what we are talking about today. We are talking about none other than the iPhone 16. So I do have iPhone 16 Pro Max. We'll be taking a deep dive into what iPhone 16 is all about. But before that, let's just unbox this thing. Alright, time for the unboxing. So this is the box, pretty much like every year. Nothing's changed here. Let's open the box, and as soon as we open the box, we see the iPhone sitting right there, pretty much like every year from past 4 generations. What else is there in the box is one USB Type-C to C cable, which is the braided one. No changes there at all, with a SIM card ejection tool as well. So here's the box, and unprecedented thing which happened is the end of an era. There is no Apple sticker. Now only you get is an instruction manual, nothing else in the box. So that's pretty much it with the box, just the cable and the instruction manual. So let's close it and keep it aside. Alright, the phone itself. Let me focus. Alright, so this is the phone in the desert titanium, the new color. And it's already turned down, as you can see. And you do get one action button, pretty much like last year and the current generation of all the phones. This side you get the power button, and along with that there is a new inclusion of the camera control button. It's a button, it's not a haptic, it's a button, proper button. On the back you get 3 cameras layout, and this is a 6.9-inch thin bezel display. Gorgeous. Alright, if I compare it side by side with my iPhone 14 Pro Max, you can see how the sizes have evolved. Just a minor change there. Now the display size has gone from 6.7 inch to 6.9 inch, and it's evidently quite visible. So this is it. You can see the difference of bezels there. Now this is a desert titanium color. You can see the golden edges on the titanium rails, but on the back it is quite white. It's quite faded. It's pretty much like what you can say off-white and not goldenish enough on the back. You're all probably gonna wear a case, so it won't be as golden as it seems to look at it right now. So that's the difference. Now the camera control does many things. It's an unnecessary feature, but I'll get back to it in a bit. Right now you can see you can do many things with it. There are many functions. It's basically they are creating a need of it. You can just change the exposure, you can change the zoom. Quite fairly people will use it for the zoom. It has haptic feedback just like your laptop's trackpad, even though it's a button, it's a proper button. So that's pretty much it with the new phone and the camera control button. Okay, if you just press this, it will start the camera automatically. Alright, now it's time for iPhone 16's unboxing. I have an iPhone 16 128 gigs pink color, and I'm opening it for the first time. This is the iPhone. It is sitting right there, just like the iPhone 16 Pro Max earlier in the video. So this 16 houses the same camera control button right here, sapphire glass, and the action button right there. So quite a saturated color, and this is the braided cable, and with the very minimal literature without any Apple stickers. So same kind of unboxing, exactly same, pretty much it with the box. And this is the iPhone 16 first hands-on. let me talk about something which is very important. You see, we always expect Apple to revolutionize the design, to have radical changes. We want revolutionary changes every year. I think it's time that we should change that expectations. And the reason is simple. Now we are at the age of technological utopia. So be that Apple, be that Samsung, be that any other corporate giant, they all have done that. They have done it. So they've made the design palatable, and now it's time for them to just evolve that further. Whatever which design which you are seeing right now in the iPhone, you will continue to get that. So the Apple is finally going forward with the formula of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'll just right away conclude it by saying that if you're someone who is using the iPhone 15, you trust me, you do not need to upgrade unless you are shifting from the mainstream 15 series to a Pro series. Then you can upgrade. Otherwise, apart from that, if you just want to upgrade from iPhone 15 to 16 or 15 Pro series to 16 Pro series, trust me, it is useless. You don't need to upgrade that. I guess this is something which is happening from last 3 or 4 years. Apple is just providing 2 major features and 3 minor feature changes in their phones. The features, well, some are good and some are wasn't necessary. But here we are. Now the actual game changer of this year's iPhone lineup is the iPhone 16. So let's talk about the iPhone 16 first. iPhone 16 houses the same design as the iPhone 15, which was probably quite similar to iPhone 14, but the iPhone 15 and iPhone 16 has some design element changes, and that is on the back side. On the front, from the front they both have the same 6.1 inch for the iPhone 16, which is carried forward from the 15, and 6.7 inch for the iPhone 16 Plus, which is carried right from iPhone 15 Plus. So in the front, they are the same, having the same dynamic island, having the same peak 2000 nits brightness, and the same old 60 Hz display. You know what? That's crazy, right? Living in 2024, having a phone that costs around 90,000 to 1 lakh, and yet having just 60 Hz display. Kind of crazy, right? People would still buy it, regardless. In the usability front, of course, it doesn't make any sense. But if I talk about the competition, even a smartphone of 20,000 rupee in today's era comes with 120 Hz display, and I already talked about that last year. You know what Apple should have done? Just like they give 120 Hz ProMotion display, at least they could have given 90 Hz, and they could have just called it smooth motion or flow motion or anything. Just a suggestion. Alright, what do we got? I have the specs written here. Alright, starting off with the design, not a ton of surprises here, as it has the same premium glass back with the aluminium frame for the regular models and the titanium for the Pro series. Now, when I say the iPhone 16 is quite important upgrade for Apple, it is important. The iPhone 16 is the most important upgrade, not the 16 Pro, not the 16 Pro Max, but 16 and 16 Plus, because they have given necessary changes to it. Apple, for the first time, gave the mainstream series everything that it deserves. So now they have a versatile new camera system. The main camera, which is the wide camera, is now a fusion camera, which lets you take the stunning super high resolution images. We can zoom in to 2x optical telephoto, which basically was present in the last year's model as well. Now you know why they have changed the design of the back of the iPhone 16? It has nothing to do with the changes. The sole reason why they have changed the design of the back is so that they can record the 3D video, which can be used by all those 3 to 5 people who own Apple Vision Pro. Yeah, remember people owning Apple Vision Pro? No? Neither me, because I can't really. can't really see anyone having those. Now, last year I tweeted they've introduced A17 Pro chip. I said that the iPhone 16 will have rebranded A17 Pro chip, rebranded as A18 chip, and that's exactly what happened. So on papers they are saying that they've upgraded 2 generations from A16 to A18 chip. So whatever the chip which again you used to get from last year's Pro model to this year's mainstream model is the same. It's just reclocked. It is overclocked A17 Pro chip. So the benchmark score is higher than A17 Pro chip. And I don't necessarily see this as a problem. It is actually a win. You're actually getting a new chip. Finally, after a long time, Apple has given a new chip to the mainstream phone. So it has up to basically, if I compare it with the iPhone 15, it has 30% faster CPU and 40% faster GPU. If I compare it with the 4-generation-old iPhone 12, then it is whopping 60% faster CPU and twice as fast GPU. That is crazy. Now the battery life is longer. The evaluation criteria, the parameters of battery is video playback. So I'll just fill out the video playback numbers now. Alright, so these are the only changes from iPhone 15 to 16. Just a couple of them. And there's one more change. Now the action button, which was available in the Pro series of 15, is now available in the mainstream series. So 16 gets an action button, it gets a camera control button, it gets the 48 megapixel cameras. Now the colors have been colorful again. Now these are available in the 128, 256 and 512 GB storage, starting with the same price as last year's, that is 79,990, goes up to 1,10,000. The biggest feature which they have showcased is, wait for it, a promise. What? Yeah, the biggest feature of iPhone 16 is Apple Intelligence. Now, the whole thing, iPhone 16 series revolves around Apple Intelligence. They made this series for Apple Intelligence, and guess what? The Apple Intelligence is not available yet. Say what? It's kind of funny though. The Apple Intelligence is not yet present in any iPhone. For real. And the same Apple Intelligence is also present. When it will arrive, it will also arrive in the iPhone 15 Pro series. So remember in the beginning of the video when I said you don't need, if you have iPhone 15 Pro, you don't need to upgrade. And I said, I'll tell you why. Here's why. Because Apple Intelligence is the only major difference from the previous generation to this generation, and even the previous generation 15 Pro series already has it. Apple Intelligence has a host of features. It can boost your productivity. With the new tools, it can help you to write, focus, and communicate. The writing tool can provide you to rewrite your texts in a different version until the tone and the wording are just right. Summarized selection of the text with a tap. You can now just summarize the selected text with a tap. You can now change the text to professional or to semi-professional or to casual, depending on whom you're writing. Now anybody can be a writer. For full disclosure, anyone can write down a great pitch of the mail using the AI tools. Summarize of your transcript so you can get most of the information at a glance. Now you get a primary message in the mail, which will, elevate your time-sensitive mail on the top of your inbox. Basically, like if there is an invitation and the deadline is today, you can find it in your mail in the priority. Apple Intelligence will sort it out because AI is powerful. Now you can also express yourself with the new Genmoji. Genmoji, after the emoji, we got Animoji, and now we got Genmoji. Genmoji is right in your keyboard. So basically, what it means is that you can make any emoji. Now you are not restricted to the emojis which are delivered by Apple. Now you can customize any emoji. You can make any emoji out of your imagination. You just have to write down the text. Bam! It just converts into an emoji. Your own customized, your own personal emoji. Isn't that crazy? It is, but not so much. Alright, there's a image playground app, which basically is like Meta AI or any other AI app which you're using. It's nothing new. All you gotta do is you can just write down the description and it'll make an illustration. You can also draw something and it will make an image out of it, similar to what Samsung does with their AI. And these things which you couldn't do on your 14 Pro Max, well, now you can do it on your 16 Pro Max quite easily. Thanks to the Apple Intelligence. And now, Siri. The animation of the Siri, the circular animation is gone. And now it just takes the edge of your iPhone and it is always there. Whatever the screen which you are using, the Siri, the AI feature is reading that screen, and the Siri is helping you understand what is on your screen, and it can explain this to you, whatever you're watching on your screen. Remember when I said they are watching you? They are watching you. Another major new feature, the one new feature I already told you, the major one is Apple Intelligence, which is not here present right now. The second major feature which they have introduced is the camera control. Now remember when Apple used to make necessary features based upon the demand, based upon the usability? Guess what? It's not there anymore. Yeah, I mean, what were they thinking, man? What were they thinking? Introducing the new camera control. Remember the Nokia phones which used to have the camera shutter button, dedicated one? It's now in the iPhone in the 2024. I don't know for what goddamn reason they have done it, but they have done it. They have created a need. Not necessarily a useful feature, but it's right there, it's present, so probably you and me will be using this feature. So it's a button, it's not something like a haptic trackpad, it's basically a button, but what this button actually does is that this button works as a trackpad as well. It uses it for the zoom, for the camera shutter, and everything. Now this year nothing much has been going on with the Pro series, as if you compare it side by side with the 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max in the natural titanium, any color apart from the desert titanium color, if you compare it with any other color, you will find it the same. The only thing that has changed majorly, three things have changed. First, so they've marketed Hello Apple Intelligence with the Pro series, and I don't know if they've done this on purpose or not, but the iPhone 15 Pro series gets the Apple Intelligence, not a hello which I would expect because it is already present. What genuinely has been changed is the display size. Now, since the bezel has gone very thin, the display sizes have been evolved now from 6.1 inch on the iPhone 15 Pro to 6.3 inch on the 16 Pro, and from 6.7 inch on the iPhone 15 Pro Max to 6.9 inch on the 16 Pro Max. It's up there now, it's up there with the Galaxy 24 Ultra, S24 Ultra. They both have now 6.9 inches, almost like a tablet. Just 0.1 inch and it will be a tablet, because the criteria for a tablet is 7 inch. Why iPad mini exists? Huh? Can anybody tell me? And we have a phone that is 6.9 inch. Why would you need an iPad mini? Huh? You? Okay. So the first major change was the display size. The second major change, as they say, is the Apple Intelligence not yet available, as I already earlier told you. The third big change is again the camera control, the useless that feature, the camera control. But the biggest feature on the iPhone 16 Pro series is 4K 120 FPS Dolby Vision 10-bit HDR video. For a person who's watching this video, probably it won't be useful for you. But for me it is, because as a content creator, having a higher frame rate helps you in making videos to some extent. I can't explain you here, but it is helpful, it is quite useful. So 120 FPS 4K video capability might not be a big deal for you, but for me it is quite a big deal. So if you are a pro content creator, if you want to extort all the abilities from your phone, then 120 FPS 4K video is for you. That's the highest resolution and frame rate combinations yet from Apple on any product, enabled by the new 48 megapixel Fusion camera. Now, as I've already tested on the phone, this 4K 120 FPS is limited to the main camera, the Fusion camera. Not with your 5x telephoto camera, not with your ultra-wide 0.5x camera. It is only available with the one lens, that is the Fusion lens. We can live with that, of course. At least they're giving it. It has the audio performance changes as well, because they can record with 4 studio quality mics for higher quality recording, lowering the noise and giving you a spatial audio capture, which can be much more immersive when listening with the AirPods. All those TWS wireless mics from Rode or from DJI or from any other company, they are killing your products by introducing this feature. This is a crazy feature. Even if you are standing at a crowded place and if you test that, what Apple Intelligence does is it isolates your voice and all the noises from the background gets cancelled, and what you get is the studio level crisp clear voice. So for that feature and for the feature of 4K 120 FPS, for me this is a worthy upgrade. Comes with again a macro lens and ultra-wide lens of 48 megapixel. The telephoto 5x lens still remains as 12 megapixel. That can go up to a focal length of 120 mm. And there's a new luminous pipeline filter that aligns your photo with your aesthetics. You can adjust the tone of your photo and the color, matching it with your personalized luminosity. Now this phone comes with the new upgraded chip, A17 Pro chip to A18 Pro chip. And guess what? The best chip ever in any smartphone and the best iPhone we ever created? Again, yes. Again, the chipset is just an incremental upgrade. Even the A17 Pro chip is powerhouse, and it will continue to be for the next couple of years at least. Yes, there is upgrade. Yes, there is a faster CPU. Yes, there is a total increase in the system memory bandwidth, precisely 17%. Yes, there is 6-core new GPU and there is 16-core new neural engine, which has a better ray tracing for the gaming. I wonder who uses this smartphone for heavy gaming. The best part, apart from the camera, in the Pro series is the battery life. The battery life, as what people have tested in their real life testing, found out that the battery life is actually quite better in this smartphone as compared to the other iPhones of the previous generations. They're managing to get 11 hours out of the 16 Pro Max as opposed to getting 8 to 9 hours from the 15 Pro Max. The best part about the Pro series in India is the pricing. Now, even though they are still expensive, they are actually cheaper now. So these are the only changes which we have seen from last year to this year's iPhone. It's time for the conclusion. Alright, so this video turned out to be quite longer than I anticipated initially. So here's the conclusion. So if you are following Apple since the last 5 years or so then you will be knowing that Apple always gives 2 major and 3 minor feature changes in their phones. And to sum up this year's phones lineup, the iPhone 16 series has brought up some of the exciting new features while refining what we already have and love about the iPhone, with improved battery life, a more advanced camera system that they do every year, but this year it is advanced because of the 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera and a new camera control button. The A18 chip is quite impressive. It has high power and high efficiency because it's 3nm chip. The most important part that stands out the iPhone 16 from the rest of the mainstream lineup from the last generation or the generation before that is the Apple Intelligence. The inclusion of Apple Intelligence, even though the Apple Intelligence is not yet present in the phones, but it will be available soon. We haven't tested it because we couldn't get it yet. But what Apple, as per what they claim, the Apple Intelligence is going to be the biggest game changer ever on a smartphone if it is used to its fullest potential. All of these things added up makes the iPhone 16 lineup quite better than what Apple has delivered yet. So the conclusion is, if you have the iPhone 15 Pro or Pro Max, or even the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus, please do not upgrade. This is not for you. If you are someone who has an iPhone 14 series phone, your usage is purely just normal social media surfing, normal WhatsApp, normal internet surfing, and occasional photography, you don't need that. Don't upgrade. But if you are someone who has been using iPhone 12, iPhone 13, then I think it's time for you to upgrade. So what do you think? Are you upgrading with the 16 series? drop the comment below in the comment section. If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you like all my videos, please hit the bell icon and subscribe to my channel. This is Pratik and I'm signing off. See you in the next video. Thank you.